Hey guys, in this video we're going to get into the Olivia Wilde child support drama, the rumor that Tom Brady might be dating Reese Witherspoon, and the viral Barbie poster memes. Okay, so Olivia Wilde has just declared war on Jason Sudeikis. She accused him of not paying any child support for their two children, Daisy and Otis, and now she's taking him to court. She claims that she's been left to pay for 100% of the costs of their day-to-day care when they are with her. This includes food, clothing, and childcare. Jason also covers expenses while he is with the kids, but the issue is that he makes more money than her, a lot more. In fact, she says that he has a significantly superior income, so it's not fair that they both have to fork out the same amount of money. In the legal documents, she said, "While I have yet to receive specific financial information from Jason, my understanding and belief is that he is wealthier than I am and has far greater income. I have no reason to believe that Jason would dispute this. Because of this difference in income, she feels that their children have a better standard of living when they stay with him." That's part of the reason she's asking for these child support payments. So now she wants $500,000 and retroactive child support. In another part of the filing, she wrote, "I am also asking that Jason make a contribution to my attorney and accountant fees, not only due to him being in a significantly superior position than me financially, but because the vast majority of fees that I have incurred have been due to Jason and his counsel's egregious, unnecessary, and aggressive conduct." So how much does she make? Well, in the filings, she claimed to make around $100,000 per month in income on average. She has around $700,000 in bank accounts and estimated her total assets to be worth $10 million. But she also has $107,000 in monthly expenses, and the biggest chunk being the $60,000 that she pays for her mortgage. Her lawyers claim that even though Jason shares equal responsibility to support their kids, Olivia has borne the lion's share of the expenses. She's also accused him of litigating her into debt and acting in bad faith. But a source close to Jason has pushed back and insisted that they have always split everything evenly. They said Olivia and Jason share costs equally and fairly throughout their relationship, including everything related to the children. Jason took it upon himself to initiate the proceedings in the first place, to ensure that the kids would be properly cared for by both parents based on the court deciding what is fair financially going forward. When the two of them split up in November of 2020, they were initially able to keep things amicable. But tensions arose when they couldn't agree on where they wanted the children to live. Olivia is based on the West Coast, while Jason splits his time between New York and London, where he films Ted Lasso. Last year, a judge ruled that Otis and Daisy should stay in California, but when Jason quietly filed an appeal in New York, things got vicious. Olivia claimed to be blindsided when she learned about the appeal. She insisted that he purposefully did not tell her or her lawyers about the new court date, so she would not be able to show up to the hearing. In a statement, she said, "Jason's underhandedness and bad faith in these proceedings is astounding. I am completely perplexed at why he believes that engaging in intimidation or trickery will serve him or our children's best interests." Things then hit a breaking point in April last year when the actress was served with custody papers on stage while she was presenting at CinemaCon. When she was on stage, a woman from the audience approached her and handed her a yellow envelope, which read, "Personal and confidential." The whole thing was caught on camera. Olivia was seen opening the envelope and finding out that it was custody papers from Jason. After a brief moment of shock, she collects herself and decides to continue on with her presentation. But when the event was over, she very publicly accused him of trying to embarrass her. She told Variety, "In any other workplace, it would be seen as an attack. I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people and the studio that I was up there representing. To try and sabotage that was really vicious. But you know, sadly, it was not something that entirely surprised me. I mean, there's a reason I left that relationship." She went on to accuse Jason of trying to embarrass her professionally by putting their personal conflict on public display. For his part, Jason denied that he had any control over when and how the documents were served. He argued that he didn't want her to be served in front of the children, either at home or at school, or even at Harry Styles' house. He said, "I understand that the process server had only done her job. However, I deeply regret what happened. Olivia's talk was an important event for Olivia, both professionally and personally. and I am very sorry that the incident marred her special moment. Despite the fact that they have been at each other's throats for almost 3 years now, their legal battle shows no signs of slowing down. The only thing that they can agree on is the lawsuit that their former nanny has brought against them. Erica Gennaro is taking both of them to court for wrongful termination. She claims that she suffered severe anxiety and stress while they were going through their messy breakup in 2020, and she felt forced to pick sides. She also claims that when she asked for 3 days off for her mental health, she was abruptly fired. According to the lawsuit, Erica started experiencing anxiety in November of 2020 when Olivia left the home. Apparently, her sudden absence from the household had some very serious consequences, because Jason started leaning on her a lot more for support. Eventually, her osteopath recommended that she take a 3-day break from communicating with them just to get her stress levels down. But when she requested medical leave, Jason apparently fired her on the spot, and she was thrown out of the house. She's now filed a discrimination complaint with the Civil Rights Department for the state of California. For their part, Jason and Olivia have put on a united front to hit back at the lawsuit. They claim that she was making false and scurrilous accusations about them publicly. So at least that's something that they can both agree on. Now let's get into the rumors about Tom Brady and Reese Witherspoon. There's been a lot of online talk that the two of them could be the next item, probably because they've both gotten divorced recently, and most people can agree that they would look great together. But it turns out that these rumors are a complete work of fan fiction, because not only are they not dating, but apparently they haven't even met each other. Both of their reps have now come out and flat out denied the rumors. So unfortunately, none of it was true. Towards the end of last month, Reese announced that she is divorcing her husband of 12 years, Jim Toth. They announced the news on Instagram and said, "We have some personal news to share. It is with a great deal of care and consideration that we have made the difficult decision to divorce. We have enjoyed so many wonderful years together and are moving forward with deep love, kindness, and mutual respect for everything that we have created together." They went on to insist their biggest priority is their son and their entire family as they navigate this next chapter. Reese and Tim have a 10-year-old son named Tennessee, and she also has 2 kids with her ex-husband Ryan Philippe. Her daughter Ava looks shockingly similar to her when she was younger, and she also has a son named Deacon. So what was behind their decision to break up? A source told Us Weekly that neither of them were blaming one another. Quote, "Reese and Jim say they're parting as friends and will continue to co-parent. They're 2 adults who've been together for over a decade who decided to move on. At the end of the day, it was a mutual decision." While Reese and Tim have been pretty quiet about their divorce, Giselle and Tom Brady have been the complete opposite. While Reese and Tim have been pretty quiet about their divorce, Giselle and Tom Brady have been the complete opposite. After nearly 14 years of marriage, they announced that their divorce was finalized on October the 28th. At the time, Giselle posted on Instagram saying, "The decision to end a marriage is never easy, but we have grown apart, and while it is of course difficult to go through something like this, I feel blessed for the time we had together and wish the best for Tom always." Tom released a corresponding statement saying that the choice to end their marriage was painful and difficult, but that they arrived at the decision amicably. Recently, Giselle opened up to Vanity Fair about their split for the very first time. She said, "It's tough because you imagine your life was going to be a certain way, and you did everything you could, you know. I believed in fairy tales when I was a kid. I think it's beautiful to believe in that." She went on to say that she gave everything she got to achieve her dream, 100% of herself. But it was heartbreaking because it didn't end up the way that she had hoped. Most people speculated that their divorce was sparked by Tom's decision to return to the NFL for a 23rd season. In the days leading up to their announcement, reports surfaced claiming that Giselle had given Tom an ultimatum, that either he leaves football to spend time with the family or she is gone for good. Giselle seemed to confirm this in an interview with British Vogue, where she said, "His focus is on his career, mine is mostly on the kids." But this narrative pushed the idea that she was a bitter wife who wanted to see the end of her husband's career. She's since explained that in reality, the breakdown of a marriage is something that takes years to happen. She called the rumors surrounding the divorce very hurtful and said that everything written about their relationship in the weeks before their split was flatly untrue. She also shut down claims that their marriage might have ended over conflicting political opinions. While she didn't go into too much detail over the actual cause of their split, she did suggest that they had simply grown apart. The two of them met when she was 26 and he was 29. At that point in time, they wanted a family and they had similar goals. But as time went by, they realized that they just wanted different things out of life, which makes a lot of sense. After all, they were together for a very long time. So clearly they've both made space with their decision to split and go their separate ways. ways. And now let's talk about the new Barbie movie and the absolute chokehold it has on the internet. Within hours of the trailer release, Barbie is absolutely everywhere. This is partly thanks to some incredible marketing from Warner Brothers. Posters for the film dropped on Tuesday in the form of an original meme. Along with that, the studio created a Barbie selfie generator that allows you to turn yourself into Barbie. This has sent social media into an absolute frenzy, because it's actually very simple to make. All you have to do when you get to the meme generator is upload a photo of yourself or take a new selfie. It will then get you to move the picture until you're happy with its position, and then you can also edit the caption and change the background color using the tools on the screen. Thousands of people have been joining in on this meme and sharing their results on Twitter. The reason there's so much hype around this movie is because it was announced way back in 2017. So for a lot of fans, the wait has been torturous. It stars Margot Robbie as Barbie alongside her boyfriend Ken, who's played by Ryan Gosling. There are also plenty of other celebrities appearing in the movie, like Emma Mackey and Michael Cera, America Ferrera, and Issa Rae. Will Ferrell will play the CEO of Mattel, and Helen Mirren is the narrator of the film. The new trailer gives us a look into Barbie's world of plastic perfection. It looks like an enchanted kingdom where literally everything is pink. The sand, the rocks, and even the lifeguard stations. In less than a day, the trailer got over 6 million views, which shot it to the top of YouTube's trending list. In less than a day, the trailer got over 6 million views, which shot it to the top of YouTube's trending list. So now you might be one of those people who are wondering, aren't there already a ton of Barbie movies? Why is this one such a big deal? What you're thinking about is probably the classic animated movies from the early 2000s. But that was strictly for kids. This new movie is a little bit different. That's why you're going to see a heap of adults lining up to see it. Yes, nostalgia is a big selling point, and some people just want to see Margot Robbie in roller skates, but the plot of the movie is going to be really interesting. We're going to see what happens when Barbie and Ken get expelled from Barbie Land and cast out into the real world. While we don't know exactly what's going to happen, it seems like the two of them get kicked out for being imperfect, and then they get to experience living among real humans. So while this might sound like it's going to be a kids movie, it'll likely be exploring some very serious themes as well. Just the fact that it's directed by Greta Gerwig tells you everything you need to know. She's known for her nuanced, intellectually ambitious films like Lady Bird and Little Women. Apparently Greta co-wrote the script for Barbie with her husband Noah Baumbach, who's most famous for the heartbreaking movie Marriage Story. So this means we'll also be getting an interesting exploration of Barbie and Ken's relationship, most likely with some feminist undertones. The movie comes out on the 21st of July, so we still have a long wait ahead of us. But let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to be lining up to see it.